Hi friends, it's Karen McNall here, leader of the Inspired Daisies team of stampers. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm excited to share another pre-recorded video as a free card making tutorial just for you. When you place a $50 order between now and October 14th, 2025, you'll receive this kit here, plus 3 additional card kits completely free. Card kit number 1 is this run right here. It's a happy birthday card using layered thoughts, and I will link the video in the description box below. So please note that the $50 total doesn't include sales tax, shipping, or Stampin Rewards. You can head over to inspiredbygraham.com to place your order today. Your support really does truly mean the world to me and helps keep my small paper crafting business going. So now let's dive into card number 2 of this 4-part tutorial. We are going to be using the Grateful Blessing stamp set this time. And this is also in the annual catalog, and it's on page 98. And the sentiment we're going to be using today is "You're such a blessing." This is a photopolymer stamp set, so we'll need to use our Stampin' Pierce mat. Now let's go over the card itself here. It's kind of got a nice little fun fold or fun flap, whatever you want to call it, kind of design. But it's super cute, lots of layering on it. So this will teach you how to layer using die cut images along with lots of different papers. So it kind of opens up like that. We've got a nice little stamped image here from the Grateful Blessing stamp set. And then what I really like about it is when you open it up, this part is covered, and you'll see when I create this section of the card what I mean by that. It just looks a lot better by adding some designer paper there. Okay, so let's get started making this really fun card. All right, and actually here's the envelope too. Okay, and again, here's another one, and I did not add the designer paper over here to the flap. So I think I'll be adding it today. We'll see what it looks like. I've got a printed pattern this time. So let's go over everything in the kit. So you'll receive a basic white medium envelope, and then all of the sizes here. Let's just first get everything organized. So we'll get our colors the same. Here's that flap, and then we should have 3 pieces designer paper, some other ones, 2 die cuts. Here's that little small piece, the circle. Okay, so let's talk about the card base itself. So you can cut it a number of different ways. So if you're a beginner stamper and you don't want to think about the math or anything like that, so you're just going to cut your 8.5 by 11 cardstock in half. So it will be, it'll open up this way, okay? But then you're going to cut 2 inches off the front, okay? So very easy. And then you're going to score this piece here at 2 3/4 of an inch. And that's going to create the little holder here for the flap. So those 2 are there. And then we've got a Cajun Craze die cut. I used the Textured Notes dies. And then here's another Textured Notes die. It's going to go on the back side of that one. And then this is going to be part of our focal point. I've got a 2.5 inch circle. I used my circle punch. I keep my circle punches because they are so helpful. And then I've got another piece of white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to go on the inside. And then over here, I've got that little piece that's going to go right here. It's just a random piece that I cut down. And then I have 3 pieces of the designer paper, and this is called Gathering Together. And I'll show you the paper. It's just gorgeous. It's another specialty paper because it's got that gold foil in it. But these are all cut 2 by 5 1/4. All right, so I've got 2 of the same patterns. And then this one here, I'm going to be using the plaid side. All right, so we're going to stick this all over here. I'm going to get all my designer paper together, and then things that I need to stamp, which are these here. Okay, let's do our stamping first, and then it'll kind of flow together. So we will take our Stampin' Pure Smack, get that ready. I'm using Cajun Craze Classic ink. It is the same color as our card base, so I love how everything coordinates. And then I have the sentiment, "You're such a blessing," and it's mounted on a D block. So I'll grab my 2.5-inch circle, make sure this is inked up nicely. And then we're gonna just stamp right in the middle of that circle. Hold it down for a couple seconds and then release. And you should have a nice little image that looks like this. Set that aside, and now I'm going to stamp the angel policy on the back side of my card, as I do sell them. And when you sell your cards, you need to have a copyright Stampin' Up logo on the back side. And this is just a random one that I've had for many years. The inside panel here is, I'm going to stamp with this little small image right here from the stamp set. So grab that. I've got it mounted on a C block. And then I'm going to stamp off the basic white onto the scrap here. Okay, got that inked up a little bit better. And there we've got a nice little image there in that corner. And then let's stamp the same thing in the lower left corner. Okay, you can stamp multiple ones if you want. You can also stamp on the back side here. I like to do that as well. Just random, you can stamp on the flap to add designer paper. So lots of different ways you can use your stamp sets. So we are all set with the Cajun Craze ink, and set that one aside. And now we're going to bring in our silicone craft sheet, some Stampin' Dimensionals, our adhesive, and we're going to get together and we're going to put this card together. So I've had a hard time remembering this step, so I am doing it first. We are going to be using some tear and tape adhesive because this is the main kind of holder that's going to hold your focal point. So you want to make sure that is glued down really good. So I've got us, I just need to burnish this a little bit, and who knows where there it is, my bone folder. Just get that really nice and burnished. Okay, it turns nice, flaps over really good, easy, and it's laying flat for me. So now I'm going to flip it on over, and let me bring in some tear and tape adhesive. This is just random supplies I have left over from our kits collections. And don't forget, our kits are on sale October 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2025. You can save up to 30% on our kits and the kits collection, and there are some amazing deals, you guys. Some kits are under $10. They're card kits and also like home decor pieces. There's some nice Christmas cards, also some kid cards too. All right, so we've got 3 strips on there. Our tear and tape adhesive is really sticky, so I feel pretty comfortable that it's gonna do its job. We're gonna take these off here, the back sides, and it gets super sticky. I like to use my piercing tool to help me out. Now I'm gonna turn this around. If you wanna get a ruler out and find the middle spot, go ahead and do that, but I am going to just use my eyes. So we'll just add that down. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to take my bone folder just to press it down really nicely. This gets a nice flat push. Okay, so now our flap should be going pretty well. Yep, pretty good. So we'll go with the next piece, which is our stamped 4x5 1/4 panel. We're going to start covering up that little flap. So we'll add our Seal Plus, and I like to just use small tick marks here, not a lot of adhesive because it's so strong. You don't really need to go all the way around all 4 sides and down the middle, all that good stuff. Just use tick marks. All right, so that's in there pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the 2x5 1/4 panels. Let's set them out so we can see them all. This one is definitely going to go on this flap here, the inside. But we're going to look at them to see which one we want on the front, because that's the one we're going to probably see the most. So what I like to do is I just like to put them out here and just kind of look in what image I like the best. So I'll take one and put it that way, and then let's put this one over here. I like this leaf going upwards. Also look at the mushrooms, because you don't want your mushrooms going upside down. These are going sideways, every which way. That's not bad. And then this one here, see, if we do that, then we have both images of those leaves in the bottom. I really don't like that. So if we move it up here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on the front because of that mushroom right there. And then this one's going to go up here. And I think we'll call it good. All right. Ooh, that's a pretty side too. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? You can't go wrong with a designer paper, really. But I'm going to go with a foil side because I just love that gold foil, especially this time of year around Thanksgiving and fall cards. So again, I'm just using my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just creating some little tick marks with it. And then we'll take this panel here, and I said I wanted that up at the top. So I'm going to go edge to edge. Normally I leave a nice little white line or showing, but this time I'm not going to do that. We're going to just put it edge to edge. All right, we're getting there. Now let's add this piece here. Even though the foil is going to get covered up, I'm going to add in that kind of plaid looking design. And we're going to line that right up. Okay, so now what we're going to find is we're going to find this little piece here, because what's going to happen, actually, let me put together the focal point and you'll understand it a little bit more. So here's this is our textured notes die cut with Cajun Craze, and then here's our Gathering Thoughts. So we'll just add some Seal Plus on the back side of this one, and then center it and stick it down. Now I'm looking at that mushroom again because I don't want them going upside down, so we'll put it on this way. So now this is going to get stuck on with Stampin' Dimensionals, but I also want to cover up this Cajun Craze spot. So that's why I'm going to be using this piece of scrap, and that's going to do its job. So it's cut, I think it's like, it's 1 3/4, 1 3/4 high by probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches, something like that. It can be all different sizes, really. You just want to make sure you can cover up that area. And we'll just add it right here. I'm lining it up, actually. I'm lining it up with the designer paper here, so everything is going nice and straight. Okay, now I'm going to add my designer paper over here. It's going to go right there. I hope you like my card making series that I'm trying to do something different. So I'll bring you 4 pre-recorded videos for my ordering specials. I tried to do a live today and it's like lost somewhere in the, I don't know, cloud somewhere. I don't even see it on my channel. So if you see it, let me know because I don't see it. So I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube right now. But anyway, let's get back to the card. Now, this is very important. You want to make sure that this panel is centered amongst this edge of the cardstock, but you only want to put Stampin' Dimensionals on this side, because if you open it up, you're going to see them everywhere. So you just want to put it in the middle section. So right in this area here. So I'm going to flip it on over. I got to remember, I usually put my finger there. And I'm going to add probably 3. I'll make a triangle. And then let's press those down, and I'll take the backings off with my piercing tool again. That one's kind of folded over on itself. Let's see if we can get it off. There we go. All right, so now we will, hopefully this all works good. I'm not gonna press it down until I know. So I'm just gonna leave it there, just tack it down, turn it over, and there's no Stampin' Dimensionals, okay? And that's exactly what I wanted. Even though we're gonna cover this up, I don't want any Stampin' Dimensionals there. All right, so I know that it's good, so now I can press down. I'm gonna take this piece here that is cut with that textured notes, and I used the same design as in the other side on the flap. We're gonna cover up all this area so we can get a nice presentation here and just give it a nice press. I like to use the bone folder, that's stronger than my fingers, and then I know it's really glued down. Okay, we're getting there, we're almost done, you guys. All right, next step is to grab our sentiment, and we're gonna just adhere it down to the top. You can do that if you want, or you can add dimensionals to the back side of it, and that way it gives it a little bit more dimension, and that's what I'm going to do. We'll grab 3 dimensionals, and again, I'm going to create a triangle pattern. Get them all pressed down really well, and then take them off. And then let's put this right on the center. I'm looking at the edge of the Cajun Craze here. Before I just put it down permanently, I'm just looking at the edge, make sure it's not too far to the right, too far to the left. It's pretty good and centered, so now I can press it down. Doesn't that look great? Our final touch are the Cajun Craze in gold dots. So these are, they come in the, I think it's the mini catalog. If not, it's an online exclusive. They come in 3 different sizes, which I really like when Stampin' Up! Does that. It gives us many options. So I'm going to take a large, medium, and small, and we're just going to adhere it down. I feel like something needs to go here because it's just a little bit too much white. So I think I'm going to put maybe the big one I don't want there. So I'm going to put the big one. Let's see, I always have a hard time figuring out where they should go. Let's put it down there. Then the medium one, I'm thinking I might put both of them here. So let's just see what this is going to look like. Yeah, I think that's great. Press those down. And our card is finished. So let's take a look at them. I've got a few different ones. So this is the one we just made. And this is the one was like my sample that doesn't include the DSP for here. And then here's one that I used a different pattern of designer paper. Plus this is different too. Your card kit will come with whatever paper I have. It might not necessarily be the same, but it's going to be within the gathering together papers. So there you have it. And again, our envelopes, we just stamped. One I stamped on the front, the other one I stamped on the front and the back side. So I hope you enjoyed video number 2. I'm going to move on to video number 3. And so our first card kit available is this one here, Happy Birthday with the Layered Thoughts. And then we have this one here with You're Such a Blessing. And then our next card kit is going to be beautiful, Peace, Love, and Joy card. And those doves are fantastic. So I hope you stick around to watch video number 3.